we have an EHCP. It got signed off on the 20th of December, I think it was, literally like the first, 21st even. The first day of the school holidays. So obviously this weekend, and then they called on the Monday. It's not brilliant. Well, the provision itself is great. They decided not to make any changes from the draft, even though I have an email where she put in writing that she was requesting the changes for me. She then rang me, tried to justify why they weren't making the changes, and then when I actually received it, it said the covering letter said you didn't request any changes. So obviously then I emailed back and said, yes I did. Can you change that to say, to kind of justify why you're not making those changes? Of course she's been out the office ever since, so I think she's back in the office today. Hopefully I'll get something back just to say, yes, you did request changes. No, we didn't make them. Yeah, overall it's good. The funding band is good. The provision is good. It's just that I wanted the word all added, and they're anti using words like full time, and I don't know whether it's just a Worcestershire thing or what it is. Obviously they want to promote independence, that's absolutely fine, but yeah, they don't want the word full time or all. Where it says learning tasks and unstructured times, I wanted it changed to all learning tasks and all unstructured times. They've left it as learning tasks and unstructured times, which still reads as full time, but they just won't put the words full time. I don't know, it's bizarre. But yeah, the actual outcome, A, we're not going to tribunal or mediation or anything else, so that's obviously fantastic. And B, I was anticipating 15 to 20 hours of provision, and he's got 30, so yeah, it couldn't really be any better, other than the fact that it's woolly, is that the word? It's open to interpretation. School have the whatever to be able to take the mick, essentially. Like, they can interpret it how they want to. They can knock down the hours or whatever. So yeah, we're just going to have to see how it all goes. This week the advert is going out for his one-to-one. So they're starting the recruitment process, but obviously that's going to take a while to find the right person. So we've got a meeting next week just to see kind of like how much of it can be put in place prior to that one-to-one being recruited. So yeah, it's all fairly good at the moment, but it's still, yeah, it's just bizarre that they wouldn't change like literally like one simple word. She said she didn't have the power. Apologies if you could hear the dog. He's like attached to me. Yeah, she said she didn't have the power to change it, which I thought was weird. She had to go back to the educational psychologist and request them to do it, and they declined to do it or something. I don't know. That's what she told me. Obviously, I've not spoken to the ed psych, but yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, it's not a point where it's worth taking it to tribunal or anything else, because the overall outcome is better than I could have ever expected. Get my words out, better than I would ever have anticipated. I think I'm at halfway between anticipated and expected. Yeah, so the overall outcome is great. The provision that he will get is great. It's just making sure that school actually do what it says on the piece of paper. His educational provision at the moment isn't bad. It's kind of all the other things that I'm more worried about, the kind of like break times, lunch times, social and that kind of side of it. So yeah, we're just going to have to keep nagging on at school and make sure that they do what they need to be doing. Ella's kind of the bigger concern at the moment. Her one wish, like I told her, we kind of said that we would do rather than like actual resolutions, kind of like almost more like wishes. So I suppose children understand wishes more than resolutions anyway. So she said she wanted to do one thing that she wanted to leave behind in last year and one thing that she wished for this year. And her thing that she wanted to leave behind was her nightmares, and her one wish was this. I can't get my words out. Apologies. Her one wish for 2023 was to not have to go to school anymore, to be homeschooled. So that's not something that obviously that can put in place. Well, I could just pull her out, but that's not. Yeah, that's not the best plan at the moment, to just like rip her straight out of school. So I've got a meeting next week with school, which is going to be a long one because it's about Jane's EHCP and then about Ella as well. So they've had her wellbeing assessment. We're also doing her ADHD referral. And what I've promised Ella is that I will spend the next 12 months doing everything in my power to make school better for her. And then if she's still as unhappy as she is now, then we will look at other options. So the thing is, because she's becoming more and more withdrawn outside of school, I kind of think because my initial worry with homeschooling, my biggest concern for homeschooling would be that she would become more withdrawn overall, like, because we don't socialise massively and that kind of thing. I would worry that she would become more and more withdrawn. But then I see how much happier and calmer she is during school holidays, and I wonder whether, in actual fact, she would cope better overall out of school than she does in school. But at the minute, she doesn't really have support in school. So obviously, that if in the next 12 months I can get school to take things more seriously and to give her more support in school, then that would be the better option. Obviously, I don't want to take her out of school, but I don't rule it out. So yeah, it's going to be a big year either way, because obviously things need to change. She can't just be as unhappy as she has been for the last couple of years. School have already emailed me. They literally went back this morning. It's the 4th of January. They've gone back today, and school have already emailed me because their big topic for this half term is I cannot get my words out today, ancient Egypt. And they've already emailed to say they're aware that that's obviously death is a big trigger for Ella, and they want to have a quick chat just to kind of, obviously it's not avoidable, but they want to have a quick chat of kind of how to prepare her or how to kind of communicate with her regarding what they're going to be doing, because there will obviously be talk of death, mummification, and all kinds of horrible things that she's going to absolutely hate. Yeah, so things like that they take a bit more seriously than they used to, but overall she doesn't really get any support. She says that she will not post it, like it's okay to tell them if you're upset or you're angry or anything else. You go to a teaching assistant or you go to a teacher and you kind of tell them, and she just says flat out no. She won't communicate anything. I mean, she'll talk to them a little bit now regarding like her work and stuff, but in terms of how she feels, if she's upset, she's scared, she's angry, anything like that, she will not, just flat out will not communicate with them, because she thinks she'll get in trouble, which obviously I've tried to explain to her over again. They're not going to shout at you for saying that you're scared or anything like that, but she doesn't believe me, so she just masks to the point of. And I did say to her the other day, that was blank face. I wonder what that was. Yeah, I did say to her the other day, when you can't talk, when you can't physically speak, or you don't want to talk, like, what does that feel like? Are you really scared? Are you, what? Because I kind of have shutdowns where I cannot speak, and I'm just, my brain's going 100 miles an hour, and I can't physically get the words out. So I wondered whether like it was like that, or whether she was really scared or what. And she just says that she's angry and she wants to punch people in the face. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether she's angry because she's being put on the spot or what. I don't know. But that's kind of how she describes it. It's just that it's like a rage inside her that she, I suppose, because she feels as though she can't express the fact that she's angry or anything like that, then she just kind of squashes it all down and just is silent and blank-faced and just shakes her head and refuses to speak. So I don't know. I think schools should obviously be doing more to address that, because it's a big thing to kind of say, oh, she's fine but she doesn't talk. She's not fine, is she, if she's not talking? So yeah, I think she needs some play therapy or something like that. They did recommend in her the initial report that she had by the autism team, communications team, they did say that teachers needed to do more to build like positive relationships with her, which I don't think they've really done, to kind of spend one-on-one time with her and talk about things that interest her, or do arty crafty things that she enjoys and that kind of thing, to kind of connect with her. As far as I'm aware, they've not really done that. So that was back in June maybe, so yeah, a fair while ago. But they're all things that we'll discuss kind of in the meeting next week, and hopefully they will take things on board a little bit more. The last couple of days she's been really on edge. She's been saying that how much she doesn't want to go, that she was going to refuse to go, but then this morning I think her anxiety takes over, that kind of like, I think because she's got autism and ADHD, she has that kind of battle in her head of the ADHD wants to kind of rage and wants to rebel and everything else, but the autism and the anxiety kind of takes over, and it's, so she writes a list of which clothes and shoes she's going to wear, because she's got shoes and boots. So she'll put like, she's wearing a skirt, not a dress, and that kind of thing, and like which glasses she's going to wear, what little fidget is she going to take, what she's going to have in her lunchbox. She like wrote all that down obsessively last night. She had it all sorted. She did go through a phase where she was literally insisting on putting a uniform on the night before. I don't know whether that was to prepare herself or quite what that was. She's not quite that bad now, but she had her uniform literally like laid out next to her bed with like all her tights and everything just ready and planned out of everything. And then this morning she just kind of got up, did it, went to school. So she didn't make a big fuss. She didn't come in my room last night either, which I was expecting her to struggle to sleep. She went to sleep quite well and she stayed asleep, which is quite a miracle. She didn't really struggle to get up. She got ready and she went. So that was. But with Ella, it's very much like a build up. So obviously she'll be more stressed tonight after school, like processing things of that kind of thing, than she is before she goes the first time, if that makes sense. So yeah, we'll just kind of see how she is when she comes out later. I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to say. I can't remember. Obviously this year is a big year in terms of hopefully soon they will get in touch about my autism diagnosis, because it's been over a year now. I think that it was November, so about 13 months. Ella's referral was accepted in September. Yeah, I think her referral was accepted in September for her autism, and then her ADHD one is about to get sent off. I don't know how fast, I don't really know how quick children's ADHD ones happen. But yeah, potentially all three of those will happen this year. Obviously Rob's already got his ADHD one, Jade's already got his autism one, so yeah, by the end of the year, potentially 5 diagnoses between 4 of us, if not more. So yeah, crazy household.